Welcome back to the Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is such a cunning investigative reporter, he never wears pants whenever it's time to surprise his subjects with an ambush. Todd Schowalter.
And we're back. I'm Todd Schowalter along with my bestest buddy Joey V. And on the line now, as I mentioned to you, Joey, is another St. Louis TV legend, just like Larry down the hall here. It's Elliot Davis, and he's now the star of Elliot Davis TV, which is bigger than anything on Facebook or anywhere now. I'm going to jump into it. How are you, Elliot?
I am doing great.
Well, you're everywhere. I can't believe this because you're one of these people that retires, but then comes back bigger than ever. I mean, this new Elliot Davis TV, I mean, I'll be honest with you. My wife was the first one that said, you got to check this out. Now I'm hooked on it, and apparently everybody's hooked on it. You're busier than ever.
Well, someone said I'm redefining retirement. It was, I think, one of the mayor's offices that I went to ask questions to, and they say I'm redefining retirement, and I probably am. It's actually busier than before, and I'm getting to tackle more issues than before and tackle them more aggressively.
Well, that's great. And can you mentioned in a few of your episodes that I kind of am in the same boat as you. I get heat from the right and the left because they say, well, you're not being liberal enough, you're not being conservative enough, but you're just being honest, aren't you? I mean, you're calling it as it is, and you're being, in my opinion, objective. And a lot of people they don't seem to like that, do they?
No, I'm like an umpire. That's how I like to characterize and describe myself. Now, does that mean I'm going to that everybody's going to agree with me? Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to call balls and strikes the way I see it,
mm-hmm.
and so that's the beauty of it. And the beauty of it also is I don't have a boss. I love my bosses at Fox 2, where I worked for 45 years. You paid for it. I mean, I had some great bosses, great coworkers, but now I don't have any bosses, so I'm it. And I don't sell advertising either, and so I'm not being chained by to I'm not being subjected to advertising and stuff like that. Advertising is a good thing, but I decided that at least for right now, I didn't want to be shackled by anything.
Right.
And so I didn't want anybody to be able to say, well, if they don't like what I do, well, I'm going to go boycott your advertisers.
Right.
And I'm going to try pressure to you that way because I don't have any. There's no way and no pressure that anybody can apply to anything I say.
Yeah, and it's great. And that gets back to something I was going to ask you. I mean, when you were with Fox 2, and it's just as far as news across the board at this point, do you think there's a lot of that? I mean, are we really getting the true, honest, what's really going on, or is there a lot of that shackling, as you mentioned, going on?
I think they're getting the honest truth. I think that reporters are as reporters were in the past, even though people don't like to admit it. I think the young crop of journalists do a great job. I know some of them. I think they do a good job. As they get older, they will mature more, and they will have a different view on things, because as people grow and mature, they have a different view on life.
Yeah.
So they will grow and they will just get better as they go. But I think the reporters in all the stations, I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, you posted something recently about apparently, I guess it was in the Business Journal, that 3 of the stations may somehow come under the same ownership or something. Do I have that right? I mean, I don't know if it's actually happened, but how could we, if that were to happen, I mean, that can't be a good thing, in my opinion. What do you think?
I don't know. It's still being worked out, so I don't know all the details. I was just sharing something that was on social media.
Right.
So I think, I think Nexstar is buying Tegna if the FCC changes the rules to allow that ownership.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a done deal yet.
Okay.
As to whether or not it's going to be a good deal, I have no clue.
Yeah, right. It just seems, I don't know. Like I remember even when, because I used to work with a lot of newspapers, and when they were family owned and things, I mean, it was a different vibe, and things used to be very objective. Okay. And it just seems that when corporations got involved, that objectivity seemed to go out the window, and you're pretty much, you're going to kind of cater to whatever position they want to take. And I don't know. I don't like that. I mean, do you wish
things
Go ahead.
Well, things are changing.
Yeah.
You look at newspapers, how they were in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and whatnot,
Yeah.
and how popular they were and how great a business they were. And you look at how they were then and how they are now,
Yeah.
and how they began changing. Why? Well, because the public's appetite started changing.
Right.
And
right.
so things like television, things like newspaper and everything else will change along with the public's appetite.
Right.
People stop reading the newspaper. Well, social media came along and people say, well, I can just look at it on Facebook.
Right. Right. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the traditional media that's been around forever, all of a sudden, we're not as popular with the public, and so we're not making as much money. And so that impacts the employees, how many people they could hire, the salaries they pay, and everything. But it all had to do with public consumption.
Yeah, exactly. And you could see, especially with what you're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you think you have a bigger audience now than you did when you were on television?
Well, you know what? Sometimes I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think it certainly in social media that's grown. It was like 170,000, and I've only been retired a year, but it was like 170,000 when I was at Fox 2, and it is like 193,000 now. So it has grown considerably, and I've hired a social media person. So we're doing Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it sometimes it seems that way, and sometimes it also seems like I had a lot of people look at You Paid For It. I think that was pretty popular.
Oh yeah, sure.
But we're reaching through social media a lot of younger people who are looking at things that I'm involved in doing, and so it is so that's caught on. So yeah, I would say at least it seems like at least as many people are watching or more are watching than before, because social media certainly has just caught on in a very big way.
Oh, absolutely, and you can see where that's going. Obviously, with you, it's you're expanding your audience daily at this point. But what do you think? Here you are. You're a respected journalist. I mean, that's just a given. But you also, with social media, you've got anybody. They can come on there and they could be a complete knucklehead or something, and just be spouting things, whatever pops into their head. I mean, you have a different competition now. I mean, it's like you have people that know what they're doing, but it's an even playing field with people that really don't. I mean, how do you deal with that?
It's not my competition. I don't look at myself as competing with anybody, except myself. Yeah. And so when I do things, I don't read what everybody else is doing. Right. Don't care what they're doing. Doesn't matter. I try to focus on what I'm doing, do that, and focus on that. And I let the other people do whatever it is that they want to do. So I've always been like that. In the beginning, about 2015 is when I started, and I focused on the issue of homelessness. And that is the issue where we really got going, because we would post things and they get like 2 million views. But we started focusing on issues like the homeless, issues like crime. We'd hammer the circuit attorney. We were not afraid to take on issues. We were supportive of law enforcement when law enforcement was pretty unpopular during some turbulent times in our in our history, in our area history. And when people were hammering law enforcement, I really supported them, because it was my belief that law enforcement was the only thing that separated us from anarchy and separated us from the criminals who were taking an advantage of, especially senior citizens, but just everybody. And so I would take positions. Many of my positions were unpopular at the time I was taking them, like my positions with on law enforcement. Well, it was unpopular during the time I was taking them, except with police officers and whatever. They appreciated the support, at that time, because they were just getting hammered. Right. But so I've often always just taken positions sometimes on issues that were unpopular, and I don't look at what everybody else is doing. I really don't care.
I want to pivot a little bit here. I was watching your piece, and I also watched it with Wesley Bell, up with the public the town hall that they had and stuff. And
Right.
I gotta tell you, a lot of the stuff that you pointed out, I couldn't agreed with more. I felt sorry for Wesley. I mean, he's up there, he's trying to to deal with this issue, and you have a lot of people that came in that it seemed they wanted to change the whole agenda for some political narrative. I mean, what was your take on that? Because I found the whole thing embarrassing.
My take is that you've got groups of people who support an issue, in this case Gaza, and they want everybody else to support it too, to the same extent they do.
Right.
And they were mad at Wesley Bell for supporting Israel and Gaza. They didn't care about any other issue, not the tornado hitting the city, not crime in the city, not nothing, just Gaza. Well, in the district that Wesley Bell represents, most of those people, many of those people got slammed by the tornado.
Right.
And so the tornado to them, that's more important than Gaza. They care more about that. Many of them care more about crime than Gaza. Gaza's an important issue. We regret what's going on with the people there, but it's not the number one issue for everybody. And just the way they decided to go about it, the way they decided to slam Wesley Bell over it, I thought it was unfair. And just for the point of transparency, I support Israel and I support the Jewish people as well.
Right.
And so the positions Wesley took were actually positions that I support. I can say that since I'm now retired and I can take what positions that I want. And so I didn't agree with the protesters. I just did not agree with their approach on it. And, and Wesley, it was very difficult, to go forward. But that's what's happened to a lot of public officials that take a position on something that one of these groups disagree with, and then they're just a target, and people just come and just take over the meeting. It's like they feel that only what they think is important.
Well, we're down to the last few seconds here. I want to tell everybody how they can watch you. I know you're on Facebook. It's called Elliot Davis TV.
That's how they can do it.
Okay. So is it? You mentioned Instagram too. Are there other platforms that people can check out your show?
My social media person, Natalie Coyne.
Okay.
She knows the addresses of all those social media posts. I only know Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
Elliot Davis TV.
Well,
that's where I got somebody to help me, because there's no way I could keep up with everything.
Yeah, well, you're busy, like taking your career to a whole nother level in retirement.
But it's a lot of fun. We get a lot of people contacting us. I just had a lady who's a tornado victim to contact me. I had someone whose son out in St. Charles County, Winchfield, I think it was, where they are trying to get someone to donate a kidney and wanted me to use my site to publicize that, and we've done that. It was a lady who was a paraplegic, and her bed malfunctioned, didn't work. She couldn't get the state to get her another one, and we were able to get involved with that and get Paraquat involved to get her a bed. And I actually paid to have the bed moved. That was $700. But to have the bed moved, and then we get people like homeless moms that are about to get kicked out of hotels, motels. I've been able to step in and help them, and dealing with the homeless down there to help them deal with the trash situation. I've rented dumpsters for them every month so they can deal with trash. But you're able to spotlight other organizations where people are helping. And the things I focus on are not just to promote me. It's to encourage other people to get involved. My most important thing, and I do have to mention this before I leave, is my faith in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So if I were to say, what is the most important thing I've done since I retired, that's to get closer to Jesus Christ, to praise him more, to praise God, to let God run my life and be in charge of it. That is the most important thing that's happened since I left TV and retired.
Gotcha.
And that's made all the other things, important. That's allowed me to do all the other things.
Well, amen to that. I mean, I can attest to that myself, and I couldn't agree more. Wow, it's been a pleasure having you on. I mean, will you come back? I mean, there's so much more I'd like to talk about. I hope you can come back and talk some more.
I'll be glad to.
Okay.
I'll be glad to.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this time. Again, anybody that wants to check it out is Elliot Davis TV. He's on Facebook and other platforms. But Elliot, again, thank you, and I look forward to the next time.
Been my pleasure.
Bye-bye.